recipe dish. Today, as promised, I'm going to bring you my big self-tanner review roundup, and then after I give you the reviews, I'm going to give you my favorite self-tanning tips so that you can make the most of your tanning experience. Alright, I have 5 self-tanners to review. They're all focused on being body tanners, although some of them say you can put them on your face. And I do have a face product that I will actually, 2 face products that I think are great that I'll mention as well. So I talked briefly about self-tanners in my 5 ways to get ready for summer video, and I asked if you were interested in, getting more reviews about the ones I was trying, and a lot of you said yes. So I was really happy to hear that because I have been having fun testing out all these self-tanners. This summer I've kind of decided to get away from the subtle, gradual tanning lotions and use, the real, I guess, hardcore self-tanners. So I have definitely found some really good ones. There's only one I don't like, and I think I'm going to start with that one first. So the one that I would not recommend is the Vita Liberata Luxury Tan 2 to 3 week tanning mousse. And I got this in a Sephora sampler set that I ordered, so it's just a mini size. But the full size comes with a mitt, and it costs $54. So it's an expensive tanner. Now, they are kind of jacking up the price because they're saying this will last for 2 to 3 weeks. And you're like, that's amazing, that's totally worth it. But then you read the instructions, and the way that they want you to get this 2 to 3 week tan is to use the stuff 3 days in a row. So they want you to apply this 3 times, 3 days in a row, like 24 hours in between, shower in between applications, and that's a little too much work for me. And I did not do it that way because as soon as I read that, I was like, no, just no. and I mean, Vita Liberata makes just the traditional tanning products, not the ones that are supposed to go for 2 to 3 weeks. They make lotions, they make mousses, and I'm sure they're all good, but at those price points they'd have to be really, really good. And the 2 to 3 week one, I just don't recommend that. Okay, let's move on to something I do love, and this is the one that I raved about in my 5 ways to get ready for summer, and it is TanWise from Sally Beauty Supply. So the full price of this, I'm looking at the sticker right here, is $12.99. Of course, there's sales, and I'm a Sally member, so it was like $11.50 for this big old 7-ounce bottle, and it works really, really great. Of all the tanners I'm going to mention to you, I would say this is the most intense color, the deepest color, and it only comes in one color, but you just get a really nice deep tan. And so for someone like me who would buy the darkest color in most products, this is totally fine. It doesn't look weird, it doesn't look like burned to a crisp or anything like that. It works really well, but I think that it just takes a little bit of practice. With this one, I had a tendency to get a little bit of excess product on myself, but you don't really notice that until after you've rubbed it in. But then the next day I would shower and that kind of excess would just disappear. It was like it was a little too much. So I think getting the right amount down, and that can only come with practice. So it's like, when you put it on, there's a very, very subtle but pleasant coconutty scent. Otherwise, I get no scent from this. A lot of these, I think actually all of them say no scent whatsoever, and that's just not true across the board. They either have a scent going on, which is not unpleasant, but then where you get that weird tanning smell is kind of at the end of the day, 12 hours later. So I'll put mine on in the morning, and then at night before I go to bed, I can sort of smell that tanning smell on myself. That does not bother me. It really doesn't, but the no scent is kind of a lie. For the TanWise, I like the mousse, but they make a lotion and a cream, so that would be more hydrating. So I haven't tried those products, but I have a feeling they're going to work well too. I think it's a solid product, and for people looking for a really dark, deep tan, or for just a good product at a very low price, this is the way to go. And if you don't have a Sally by you, you can buy these online. I didn't really realize that, but Sally is online just like everybody else. Okay, the next product, let's go on to a mousse. I've got the good old Saint-Tropez tanning mousse. This also was in a Sephora sampler that I bought, and it's kind of their just classic mousse. This doesn't come in shades, there's only the one, and this is kind of known for having a green undertone. And I can even see it, like right here. Can you see that? There's like a little bit of green from like the residue that came out. And this is an excellent product if you have an olive skin tone, which I do. And I'm a pale olive girl, but I still have that olive undertone, so those green and yellow undertones. So if that's you, this is really, really pretty. Like if I have these, I put this on one arm and I put a different tanner on the other arm, and when I held them up, you can see the difference. And it's not that one looks green and one looks orange or anything like that. It's very subtle, but if that's something that you really like, then check out Saint-Tropez. As far as the application, this went on beautifully. Just no problems. It was really easy to apply. There was no big scent, nothing like that. As far as longevity, I'm gonna say all these tanners across the board will last you a good 4 days. That was the experience I had. They start to fade, but they never got patchy. Even, you know, beyond 4 days, I'm not getting patchiness. So, I mean, tanners are great. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about any of these products, and they all perform similarly. It's just like choosing what's right for you. The next tanner I have is, actually the next two are lotions, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the Famous Dave's Small Batch Reserve, and it's in the shade Medium Dark. So this is the darkest one, I'm almost positive, that they make. And this was sent to me for free for review by the company. So this is kind of a momentous occasion because this is the very first time in a video that I have talked about a product that I received for free for any reason. And I'm telling you this very, very clearly because if that ever happens again, and I don't know that it will in the foreseeable future, but if it does, I will state very, very clearly that I got the product for free, because I honestly think that you have to know that when you're hearing a review that came from a press sample, a free product. I think it can change the reviewer's perspective. I think it's really hard to be super harsh on something that someone gave you for free. That's just my opinion, and if I do talk about a product multiple times in videos or something, I will always say every time that I got this for free. I didn't buy it with my own money, because I just want that to be super clear. Okay, getting over with that, I really liked Famous Dave's. This is so easy to apply. It's a nice lotion, not too thick, not too thin. It went on like a dream for me. I mean, just there was no streaking, nothing whatsoever. My only complaint, and this is the medium dark shade, is that it was a fairly light tan. I would want darker, so that's what I have to say. So if you are a fair-skinned woman, Famous Dave's is really nice. It feels nice, it dries quickly, and it has kind of it's a very natural looking tan in the sense that there is an orangey undertone to it. At least that's what I saw when I used it. So if that's what you're looking for, I think, you know, people are scared of orange, but I think that sort of helps a tan look natural. Like, a natural tan is not just pure brown. It's got that, like, oranginess to it. So, Famous Dave's, I think, would be really nice for pale women, and it really is easy to work with. The next product I have is a nice, affordable find, and it is the Banana Boat Summer Color Self-Tanning Lotion. It says deep dark color, self-adjusting color for a natural looking tan, and it says for all skin tones. So even though they have these like colored dots there, looking in Target, this I think was the only shade for this product. It says it's self-adjusting. I'm not sure if any of that's true, but when you put it on, it behaved almost exactly like the Famous Dave's. And when you put it on, you just get a really nice tan. Again, for me, I kind of prefer the darker tan-wise, but I mean, I still get a noticeable tan from this or the Famous Dave's. The Banana Boat also has an orange undertone, which I think gives it a really natural color, and it says that you can keep applying it more often, kind of like that Vita Liberata, apply it every single day to get a deeper tan. And I actually found I got a nice subtle tan just applying it once. So I suppose I could keep going, but like I said before, for me, I want to apply and be good to go for several days. And you are, it just isn't super dark. This is also, you know, just to compare the two creams that I have, this one is a thicker, richer cream, so it does feel kind of rich and hydrating, but because of that, you have to kind of be more careful to apply it evenly and work it in everywhere because it doesn't have as much, you know, slip that easily distributes over your skin. But I think this is a great product, and this is my last one to review, and I think the moral of the story here is that you don't need to spend luxury prices, high-end prices for self-tanners. I mean, I really don't think so. Honestly, I expected to see some sort of difference in one of the 3 high-end tanners I tried, but I didn't. All these tanners, you know, performed well, and I would absolutely recommend that, you know, you go try one of these guys before you go and spend more on a high-end brand. I mean, why not, right? Alright, now I just want to go over some of the tanning tips that I have put together in the course of my self-tanner testing. So some of these you've probably heard, but let's go through it really quickly. So number 1 is to exfoliate, and this is the one that you might not have heard, but use an oil-free exfoliator. So like the St. Ives apricot scrub, that's what I've used for so long. The one that's meant for your face, I can't put that on my face. That is too harsh, but it makes a great body exfoliant, and it's oil-free. If you use something with oil in it, then that oil could leave a residue on your skin, and you just want clean skin when you are applying self-tanner. So, the other thing about exfoliating is that shaving counts. So that's the reason sometimes if you apply tanner to your legs, you know, a couple days later, you might notice that your thighs are darker than your lower leg because you shave that lower leg. I mean, maybe you shave your whole thigh, but you know, like I don't shave way up. So you're always, every time you shave, you're exfoliating, and that's just something to keep in mind, you know, or why your color is lighter on your lower leg. Okay, the next tip is to use a cream, and this is kind of what I demoed in my 5 ways to get ready for summer video. Just get a nice rich moisturizer and put that on those dry areas where tanner tends to build up. So I do it on my elbows, around my ankles, and around my knees. And when I have the tanner, I just kind of skim it really gently and lightly over those areas so that I don't get a lot of product there and it doesn't build up and get dark, because the dry skin will just kind of suck it in and hold on to it, and it'll look kind of funky. So that's my solution for that. Alright, my next tip is to use a tanning mitt, and I went on about this in that video. So this is a Saint-Tropez mitt, and it does cost $6.50 at Ulta. I think you can get a good 6 uses out of one of these, and as you can see, this looks totally gross. You can wash them, and I've done it, and it works fine. You know, you just kind of suds it up with some of your hand soap, kind of like wring it out and leave it to dry, but that's gonna wear it down faster. I mean, try it and you'll see what I mean. You know, it's like these things aren't meant to last forever, and you can't feel any residue, so I just kind of let the stain be there. And I know it looks gross, but it doesn't affect your tanning application. And the mitt, for me, just lets me apply the tanner so quickly. I think it helps you get it on there more evenly. You know, it's like you just buff in circles, kind of like that. I spread it around, like say my leg, the big area, and then I start to buff it in. I think it's just a little self-tanning miracle, and I think it's really worth that extra expense. Alright, the next tip, sorry, I have a computer right here. The next tip is to shower before you panic. So, if your tan starts to develop and you see kind of splotchiness or patchiness, wait until you shower, because that could just be extra product buildup and it could come right off. And that's the experience I had with multiple tanners where I saw a little bit of unevenness. The shower kind of took away that excess and it looks completely fine. And another thing too is to remember that if you see a spot that's not completely even and perfect, you're probably the only one to notice that. And if you're in bright sunlight, you know, it looks more obvious than if you're just in the house. So just remember that no one else is going to notice any slight variance that you have. Alright, next tip is use enough product. So the only time I really struggled is when I didn't have enough product. And sometimes, especially with mousses, it goes in so quickly that you're not really sure if you've used enough, but be fairly generous, I would say, and then kind of scale back as you get a feel for how the product works. And my very last tip is to work in front of a mirror. I find this really, really helpful. Like if I'm, instead of in my bathroom, I'll go out into the bedroom and stand in front of the full-length mirror, like when I'm doing my legs, so I can see where I'm putting it, and I can like look at the backs of my legs and make sure it's all rubbed in. I think it just makes it faster and easier, and you feel more confident in your application. One last tidbit before I leave you, self-tanning your face, okay? It says that you can put tan-wise on your face. I believe the banana boat does as well. So read your tanners and, try them on your face. I know tanning your face is scary. It's really scary for me, and I don't always even do it. I'll just use bronzer, and my body it's uniform enough for me. But a product just for face that I really do like are these Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Glow Pads. And I've had at least 5 samples of these. And although I've never bought the full size, they're really nice. And it's just like it's like a little moist towelette in this packet. And it just makes it easy to get on your face. And you can just kind of put your finger there and like rub it right here. And I just think it's the easiest way to apply it. I mean, they make mini little mitts for your face, but that seems more cumbersome to me, so I do like these towelettes. Now, these give you a nice deep tan, at least it does for me. Like, the next day, you might be like a little scared, you like wake up in the morning and you really can see the tan. So if you are more fair, Tarte makes a product that looks exactly like this. It comes in a little packet, and it's from their Brazilian self-tanning line, but it's a little face towelette. And I used that one, and I was kind of like, oh, I wish I was more tan. So that's more subtle, and it would be great for you if you have fair skin. Alright, so that is all I have to say right now on self-tanners. I hope this video is not crazy long. I do try, you guys, to make my videos shorter, and I will continue to try. But thanks so much for watching. Let me know what self-tanners you like, or if you have tips to share with me and with everybody else, because I'm sure I left something out. But I'd love to know like how you tan and what you like and what your tips are. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great summer and a wonderful day.